But next up, Shari Harlan is a community outreach community outreach coordinator for Reed Hospital. She's a graduate of Richmond High School. She serves on the board of directors of Centerstone. She's everywhere. Please welcome our own Shari Harlan.
And everybody that knows me knows I'm always talking, and today I'm totally uncomfortable. But I just wanted to share at one point in my life, I was living in Washington, D.C., and I always run into a lot of different famous people. One of my coworkers was a comedian. He's really not funny, but because he's my friend, I would always support him. I've been to crazy comedy clubs, but it was always to support my friend Vinny. One day, Vinny called me because he knew I wasn't working that week, and asked. He said, "I've got my big break. I'm opening up for a nationally known comedian. Can you pick him up for me?" I said, "Okay." Well, at the time, he tells me that the comedian is, for a lot of the younger people you might not know, but his name was Jimmy J.J. Walker, who had been Mr. Dynomite on the TV show Good Times in the mid-'70s. So I prepared to get ready to go be the chauffeur for Jimmy J.J. Walker. And growing up, I had watched the TV show, so I had planned to have all these conversations. How did he get in the business? What was he doing? I was really excited. And I leave home in my trusty Toyota to get to Dulles Airport. Anyone that's been in D.C. knows Dulles Airport is a really busy airport, as well as anytime you're on I-95, it's a problem. So I left home early to pick up Jimmy J.J. Walker. And remind you, the entire time, I'm so excited that I'm going to meet this person. I get to the airport. Well, on my way to the airport, they were doing construction on 95, as usual, so I was delayed. But I was still trying to get there on time. I get to Dulles Airport, and they were under construction. So this makes me about a half an hour late. And when I finally get there, I get my trusty Toyota, leave it right outside, go into the airport, and to my surprise, there's Jimmy. But he's not the tall, thin, Dynomite guy. He's this middle-aged man. He's got mismatched luggage. He's looking pretty broke down, and all these boxes. And we put in my car, in my trusty Toyota again, and I'm excited, so I introduce myself, and I'm telling him, "Come on, is this your first time in the D.C. area?" And his response is, he just rolled his eyes. He's like, "I can't believe you're picking me up. If I was Chris Rock or Chris Tucker, they'd have a limo." Well, by this time, I'm kind of pissed off, and I'm thinking, you better take what you can get. So I have to drive 50 miles. We were going to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Get to Fredericksburg, and there's a traffic emergency, so we had to go to the next exit. By this time, his girlfriend's calling, and he's telling her what an idiot I was. So I'm really not wanting to take him to be bothered with him. I just want to dump him on the side of the road. And I get to finally we get to this broke down Days Inn hotel. It's not the Ritz, what he thought he was going to get. I don't even get out of the car. So he then takes all these broke down mismatched luggage and these boxes, which later I found out they had like CDs and T-shirts he was trying to sell. And I then called my friend after I dropped him off. I told my friend what happened, but then we find out the next day when he was being interviewed, he was rude to the other people. Well, so no good deed ever goes unpunished. Later, about 6 months later, I was meeting some friends for dinner, and we were talking, and the subject came up about Jimmy J.J. Walker. When he got there, they were laughing. They were saying how he was on the radio interviewing and saying how terrible the people in D.C. had treated him and how mad he was because the last time he came, he didn't get picked up in a limo. But sadly, this bitch in a Toyota picked him up. And so all my friends were laughing, and they realized, they said, Shari, are you the bitch in the Toyota? So they were like, don't you drive the Toyota? Yes, that was me. But, so the joke is, had he not, because I'm making it, and if he was that great, he would have been in a limo, and the bitch in the Toyota wouldn't have to pick him up. So, Ben, you have this on tape? Great. Is this on the internet? Just let him know. I'm still making it, and you're still trying to get rides from other people.